Freddie Roach is in the fight of his life. The legendary boxing trainer has been doing this thing for decades. The drills, the throwing mitts. But this summer felt different. As he primed one of his oldest prodigies, Manny Pacquiao, to regain the welterweight champion title, he quietly had his own battle to face. Life is like boxing in many unsettling respects. But boxing is only like boxing. Joyce Carol Oates. 9 days before the fight. The trainer stands in the corner of the ring in his boxing gym. He scraped this business together from nothing, year by year over 3 decades, starting with a small room above a laundromat in a Hollywood strip mall. He built the first ring himself, measured it to regulation size, painted the floor, hung the ropes. When the space next door became vacant, he took that over, knocked down walls, built another ring. The gym grew. He took over the downstairs next, after the laundromat moved out. He took over the apartment on the other side of the parking lot and moved in. He took over the parking lot itself. He stands in the corner now, the king of this place, his place. His best fighter is here training for a big fight, a comeback, they are calling it. This is the fighter he believed in, the man he built to win more titles and more divisions than any boxer ever. The trainer, the great Freddie Roach, has been slowed by age and illness, and he can't do everything for his fighter that he once did. Freddie was never a shouter, but now it's difficult sometimes even to get a few words out. He used to catch mitts, but now, after decades and millions of punches thrown at Freddie's hands, his fighter won't let Freddie catch mitts anymore. The fighter is afraid he might hurt Freddie. Roach left, coaches Pacquiao during a 2014 match against Timothy Bradley Jr. in Vegas. Freddie thinks this is bullshit. I can catch anybody, he says, but he respects his fighter and goes along with his decision. The fighter is the great Manny Pacquiao. He hasn't fought for 4 years, just as Lazarus had been dead for 4 days before Jesus performed the miracle of raising him up. Freddie is here to resurrect Manny's career. People say Manny is crazy to fight again and that Freddie is crazy to train him. They say it would be a miracle if Manny won this fight. A miracle even if he survived a few rounds before hitting the floor for the last time. Freddie stands in the corner watching his fighter spar. Manny looks over for approval, for assurance, for the mere reminder that Freddie is there. Every few minutes, Manny, sweating, rippling, his body kinetic, hops over to his corner. He stands close to Freddie, their bodies almost touching. With knobby fingers, Freddie unscrews the cap off a water bottle. Manny opens his mouth. Freddie gently holds the bottle to Manny's lips and pours a dribble of water onto Manny's tongue. Holding his hand underneath to catch drips, Freddie's own mouth contorting a little, involuntarily, as if he were drinking the water too. They don't speak. It is what Freddie can do, and it is what Manny needs. Not the water, yes, the water, but more than that, the tender offer of the water and the constancy of Freddie's presence, raising him up, raising him up, raising him up. The night of the fight, the champion enters the arena first, and everything about him is large. The towering headdresses of the costumed dancers swiveling and twirling their warrior dance before the champion emerges from the tunnel, faux feathers waving high above their heads. The entourage that surrounds him is large, an armada of heads and torsos floating down the path toward the ring, led by a man wearing a cowboy hat and rapping in Spanish and English. And the boxer himself, Mario Barrios, El Azteca, a nickname that conjures an empire. His 6 feet and mohawked, and his long arms dangle as he walks, arms that can reach a full 4 inches farther than those of his challenger. There are a few muted cheers and a few distant boos for Barrios, but mostly the crowd emits the low white noise of antipathy. Barrios reaches the ring and languishes there, no one paying attention to him. Everyone's got their phones up and aimed at the tunnel, from which the challenger will emerge next. The challenger is why they are here. And then the voice, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome boxing's only 8-division world champion. Boom! The chi swells as instantly as fireworks, filling the space inside the MGM Grand in Las Vegas with chants of his name. Man NY, Man NY, Man NY. The pride of the Philippines doesn't walk in like Barrios did. He bounces down the path. Bump, 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 his red gloves wiggling at the end of his short arms, loose jabs at the air. Manny Pacquiao is 5 feet 5 inches. His nickname is Pac-Man, a video game about a little yellow ball that eats dots that was popular before Barrios was born. Pacquiao is 46, which, to hear some of the unsmiling boxing writers in the press seats tell it, might as well be 106. Pacquiao walks into the ring ahead of his match against Barrios this past July. 46 is old in boxing. But also, guys drop dead of heart attacks at 46, playing golf or sleeping on the couch. Boom. Gone. And people say, so young. Comebacks usually turn out to be a bad idea. Joe Louis was considered ancient in 1951 when, mired in tax debt at age 37, he staged a comeback and was pummeled out of the ring by Rocky Marciano. Muhammad Ali, then 38, fought a much younger Larry Holmes in 1980, and it was an embarrassment, the only time Ali ever lost on account of a fight being stopped for his safety, maybe even for his survival. Looking out over the MGM Grand, one writer in the press seats, his sallow face alit by his laptop and his girth hanging over the folding chair, says, "It's gonna be a short fight." Yesterday, Jerry Eisenberg, the 95-year-old sports writer for the New Jersey Star-Ledger, wrote about Pacquiao that this is a fight that nobody thinks he can win. "I wish this fight was never made," he wrote, worrying that Pacquiao could get destroyed. Eisenberg, still working, lives in a ranch house out in hell-hot Henderson, Nevada, now, a few miles from the Vegas Strip. He's watching on TV. But this fight was made, and it's happening, and there, shuffling fast a few steps behind Manny out of the tunnel, is Freddie. His Irish skin glows white in the spotlight, his white buzz cut too, and his white t-shirt with black block letters, Wild Card Boxing Club. Thick black glasses. The Parkinson's draws his mouth down a little. He always looks as if he wants to say something but is holding back. Some of them are wondering if this is it for Freddie. Maybe that's why they're cheering so loudly for him. Parkinson's is tough, and it's mysterious, and maybe their dad or their aunt had it and they've seen what it can do. Manny couldn't have done this. Wouldn't be here. Without Freddie. For the last 8 weeks he's been preparing for this night at Wild Card, Freddie's famous, sharp-worn gym in Hollywood, same as he has for every fight since 2001. Freddie came up as a fighter too, trained under the great Eddie Futch, then became a trainer himself. He's worked with everyone. Mike Tyson, Marlon Starling, Miguel Cotto, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., James Toney. But Manny is his masterpiece. Their bond, one of the tightest and most potent in all of sport, helped make Freddie as famous to boxing fans as the fighters themselves. "Hey, Freddie," they call as he walks through the MGM's gilt lobbies and across its carpeted casino floors. They want selfies.